Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my exact process on how I earned $75,000 a year in my teaching job. Now, this does not include the multiple streams of income that I hold. This is specifically from my one teaching job through my district. And if you are interested in creating additional streams of income, I have a millionaire money guide down below. It is a money plan teaching you how to create an additional stream of income and clean up your finances, create a money management plan so you can start creating wealth for you and your family pronto, because it's not taught in school. Financial literacy is not taught in school, and it is my mission to change that. If you're new here, my name is Bree, and I just left my teaching job after 5 years in pursuit of teaching financial literacy and money so you can create more wealth in your home and in your classroom. I really think it's such a disservice for the kids in public education not to receive financial literacy education as well, and I'm just fixing that problem. All right, let's talk about how I earned $75,000 a year teaching in 5 years of teaching. I had to make this an intention for me to make this yearly. When I first decided to be a teacher, I didn't do it for the money, obviously. I did it more for, really the reason I did it was because I came from a low socioeconomic family. And in 8th grade, my history teacher taught a lesson that really sold me on the idea of, if you go to college, you will earn $1 million a year over someone who doesn't go to college. And it sold me. And I said, cool. Oh, what do I want to do? I want to do nursing. I went into nursing first in my undergrad, shifted out, that was not for me, and I decided to do teaching because, one, I knew if I went to college, I would make more money than I grew up with because my parents didn't go to college. And two, I would have a steady, secure job. I grew up in Southern California. Now, yes, the cost of living is very much higher than other parts of the country. So this all applies to the story. So what I did first was I got my undergrad in child, adolescent, family studies. I loved the child development degree. I loved learning about children, and I thought that was more beneficial than the liberal arts. I want to understand how children learn, develop, and grow because I would be teaching them. So that's just something to throw out there for you if you are on the fence between degrees. So I'm gonna try my best to remember the exact steps I took. I mean, it's been a while, and I'm sure things are changing, especially because the teacher shortages that are everywhere. I'm sure the requirements are changing all over the place. I got my undergrad in California. Now, what I decided to do was, this actually worked out pretty nicely. This wasn't planned. But in California at the time, and probably even now, students can go through 2 different options. I'm sure it's like this in other states as well. But they can go through, I think it's called an IBEST program, where these students are, through their undergrad, they're able to do all of their teaching credential prereq in that undergrad and then go into the teaching credential. California is a very interesting state because you have to take additional coursework to get your teaching credential, okay? It took me 6 years, 5 years for my undergrad, and then 2 years for my credential, and I added on a master's degree as well. So it took me 7 years to become a teacher. The thing is with this IBEST program is that's cool if you wanna hurry up and go. But the thing is, if you do this, you'll earn a little bit less because in California, they go by units. So the more units you take post undergrad, the higher you will be on the pay scale. So for me, I did my undergrad in child, adolescent, family studies, like I said. For the IBEST, you had to do liberal arts. Again, if you want to do that, fine, freaking do it. Me, I didn't want to do it. I loved the degree I taught in. I don't regret it at all. Like, absolutely at all. After I graduated with my child, adolescent, family studies degree, I then had to do prereqs to get into the credential. Now, the cool thing was that these prereqs were 4 classes, and these were 4 classes that were 12 units that were tacked onto my pay as a teacher. Or the IBEST candidates where, you know, they didn't have to take 4 classes because it was in their undergrad. They had to take a liberal arts degree, and then yes, they fast-tracked into the credentialing program, but they missed out on the pay. This was not planned by me. It kind of just happened. I said, cool, whatever, I'll take it. So I took 4 classes post undergrad to get into my credential. So once I got into my credential, all of these credential units added to my pay scale. By the time I had my teaching credential, I had an undergrad, a bachelor's degree, plus like 30 something units. So I was earning pretty good money. My second year teaching, I was earning $68,000 because of all this. And I got my master's degree my first year. Now, the cool thing about the California State University I went to, I think a lot of them are like this, you guys. I'm not sure though. But what was cool was I was able to earn my master's degree in a semester plus a summer. So I just needed 5 more classes to get my master's degree. I said, hell yeah, I'm doing it. I decided to get my master's degree in curriculum and instruction. So it was 4 classes, and then I did my summer like test, and I got my master's degree. So in my second year with my master's degree plus all those additional units, I was making about $68,000 a year in my second year, which is fantastic. This is the important thing I need you to learn and understand. In California, there's higher tax. Hella higher tax, okay? Like, I think it's 20% about, and I'm gonna put this into better reasoning for you. So in my 3rd year of teaching, me and my husband knew we were going to be leaving. Ideally, we would have liked to move out of California. It was really restrictive during the whole pandemic. I was so tired of teaching online. I just wanted to go back into the classroom and be with the kids and actually teach them and not be like doing this whole online hybrid craziness. It was insane. We were looking in Southern California, Riverside area, wasn't finding anything, and just so happened that things aligned to where I found a teaching job like the next day in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, this is how things just lined up really, really nicely. When I was actively goal setting, manifesting my next teaching job, I wanted to make more than I was making in that 3rd year of teaching. My 3rd year of teaching, I was making $73,000 a year. Now, another thing about California is you have to do induction. This is like additional coursework for 2 years. As I was teaching my first 2 years of teaching, I was also taking additional units and additional coursework for induction. I had to do it. It wasn't a choice. I had to do it. But the cool thing was that I could buy units to add on to my degree, essentially. So when I was done with induction, after the 3 years, it took me 3 years for induction because that first year didn't count, I was now making $73,000 a year, about maybe $72,000 a year. But I was living in California, massive taxes. All right, moved to Nevada. Now the cool thing is, now this is interesting, there's only like 1 district in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, Las Vegas is pretty huge, you guys, and it's growing more and more. But there's only 1 district, which it was very different from what I came from in California. But there's 1 district, it's Clark County School District, and it's pretty magical what they do. So if you are coming from a state where you are making more, I mean, you're making pretty good money like California or probably New York or wherever the heck else makes pretty high money to keep up with the cost of living in these states, Clark County accepts that pay to be your pay. So as other teachers, now listen, this was the interesting thing. There was other teachers that, you know, grew up in Nevada, did all their Nevada or teaching stuff in Nevada. They were making about $56,000 a year-ish, where I was making $74,000 a year. I was making $74,000 a year because of what I did here in California and moved. So that's how I did it. And it was not intentional, but my whole premise was I always had that goal set. I always wanted just to earn more because I like to invest and I like to create wealth and I like to do all these money moves. There's nothing wrong with that. But what is wrong is like putting your happiness, sacrificing your happiness for the dollar. That's not good. I don't recommend doing it. Don't do that. Watch my previous video if you want to learn more about why I still quit even though I was making $75,000 a year teaching. When I moved everything over to Nevada, I was making the same amount, but actually I was making more. One, because I did some extracurricular activities to earn more, and I was making a pretty high hourly rate as well, you guys. Now, what is very interesting, and I want you to understand, especially if you're a teacher who's in California, whatever, you have to understand that you are paying a lot in your taxes. And I'm not against paying taxes. If you are a member of Financial Freedom Academy, you know how I feel about that. What was interesting was I was making the same exact amount in California as I was in Nevada, right? But I was taking home $1,000 more a paycheck. I was taking home $1,000 more a month in Nevada than I was in California. So that just shows you how much more I was paying in taxes as a teacher. I was paying $1,000 more in taxes in California than I was in Nevada. So that means I was earning $1,000 more, able to invest more, able to buy like a really beautiful home, yada yada. We have more to go out, we have more to enjoy life with. One of the biggest things I saw a difference of in coming from California to Nevada was the difference in happiness levels with people. Just having more money just gives you more breathing room. And that's really what I experienced moving from California to Nevada. But also, another little like thing to taste on is my brother, he works in contracting for the Air Force. So he's like, his job's in California. We were making the same exact. He was making the same exact in California as I was in Nevada, but I was taking home, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He was making more than me in California. It's like 80 something. I was making 75. I was taking home more than him in Nevada than I was in California, than he is in California. I was taking home more, which means I had more money to make more money moves with. And that is how I made $75,000 a year teaching. But even though I was making $75,000 a year teaching, I still decided to leave because it just wasn't for me. And I refused to work a job that I dislike just in exchange for money. Nah. I grew up with that. It doesn't work. It's ridiculous. And that's how you that's literally how you create dis-ease in your body when you are just working for money and you're just like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do that. That is how I made $75,000 a year teaching. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'll answer them. If you're interested in working together on a much deeper level to help you kind of shift, change, and rearrange what it is with your goal setting or anything, I have one-on-one alignment calls down below as well. But I wanted to make this video to show you that one, it is possible, and two, don't put all your happiness in a dollar amount because it will not equate. And if you want to learn more about that, listen to my last video because I get a lot deeper into that. Listen, the number one thing I need you to understand that just because you make a certain amount of money does not mean it's going to give you happiness. Do I regret getting my master's degree and teaching and doing all these moves? Absolutely not. I love living in Vegas. I love what Vegas has given me and my family. We live in a beautiful home, 18 minutes from the Strip. Like, this place is growing, it's evolving. I am just fully vested into Vegas. I love it. It feels like home to me, especially coming from Southern California. I came from a desert. I just moved to another desert. It's whatever to me. I enjoy it. I like it. People love to visit. We love to house people here. It's fun. There's a lake. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So just a little taste for you, but don't chase the money. Chase your alignment. Don't chase the money. Chase your alignment and what feels good to you. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.